evening, Hoop Group. I am Eve with the Baby's Booty, and I would like to welcome you to our channel. Tonight is going to be about hooping and embroidering on a t-shirt. Now, I just came in not 40 minutes ago from driving 8, 9 hours from Jacksonville, Florida. So hopefully everything will go like it's supposed to tonight. You know how it is when you run in short notice and it's like, oh my gosh. So, but while I was out of town, I want to say it was Saturday, but it seems like I saw the post sooner than that. But I came across, I was browsing through Facebook during a moment where I had time, and I saw one of our Facebook members posted in an embroidery group, and she was asking about embroidering on a t-shirt, and she was having issues with puckering on the embroidery on the t-shirt, and it was just simple lettering is all it was. And her concern was why it was puckering. So in ruminating on that, because I'll be the first to say I've never been a fan of embroidering on t-shirts, but because of the puckering issue. But it can be done, and it can be done successfully. So I phoned a friend, and in phoning a friend, I have 4 really awesome tips for you guys. I also have information on some stabilizer suggestions. Um, and then some information from a couple of other places that seem to align with what I received from the goat. So, what I will do is mimic as much as I can with the font that was chosen. The only concern is to save on time, and that's going to be my concern with you guys tonight. I try to have no more than 2 hours whenever we go live. So I'm going to use the font, but I want to use the 5x7 embroidery machine, the Brother Small 5x7. And instead of using my multi-needle machines, and the reason why I'm looking at doing the 5x7, there's a couple of reasons why. The first reason is more people will have and be using a single needle flatbed embroidery machine. So hooping is a big part of doing the embroidery. So we'll talk a little bit about do's and don'ts when it comes to hooping a t-shirt. We won't go into super detail like how to line this up and how to do this. We're not going to go that deep, but we are going to talk about basics of hooping with a hoop. Okay. Because honestly, the super easiest way of hooping a t-shirt would be using a mighty hoop or magnetic hoop on the multi-needle machine, because it avoids something that we're going to show you over on the single needle flatbed. So I'm not going to be able to mimic what the person who, and if the person is in here, you can say it was you, but I don't want to do that. But I can't mimic exactly what the person was asking and showing. I do know what font it was. I do have that font, so we're going to try that font, but I can't do the exact word and stuff because this hoop 9 times out of 10 is smaller than what that person was using. So that's where we are. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Because I was not here in order to walk through some steps with this person and answering their question in the other groups. So I was like, you know what? That's not a bad topic to talk about tonight. So I've been thinking on this thing, but I haven't been here to prepare for it because I was out of town. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that tonight. I have the embroidery machine set up. I have my flash drive already in the thing so that we can lay out a word. And then I have a couple of t-shirts and we'll talk about that as well. So hopefully this will be informative to you guys, and hopefully it'll be helpful. Now I'm saying all of that being that I just got here, to say that I want to say hi like I normally do to everybody, but I'm kind of going to forego that a little bit so that we can get into this because I'm not prepared. It may take me longer to get this started. and I don't want to go closer to the 10 minutes. So, as a matter of fact, I just took 7 minutes to say all of that. So, let's get into the chat a little bit. I would like to definitely say hi to the Hoop Group members who are members here on this channel. Thank you so very much wholeheartedly. We definitely appreciate your support that you give over here on this channel. You don't have to, but you do. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. So definitely a huge shout out to you guys. And welcome to everyone else. Thank you for coming to hang out. We got Marilyn here. We got Greg Barker. We have DB, Nick Nurse, um, Miss Barbara Woods. Welcome. Josette Lovercheck, EJ's daughter. Tayu, welcome. um, let's see. Let me see. We got Miss Elba, Unbiased LLC. And then we have Visionary Creations, Bobby Laveau, welcome. Hopefully I said that right. I say that probably every week. Nicole Holbrook is here. We appreciate you, my dear. Miss 143, hey hun, welcome. Big hugs to you. And thank you again for coming to see me. I definitely appreciate that. That was fun. It was good to meet you. Monique Johnson, Creative Notions, welcome, welcome. Tracy Murray, Murray Effects, what's up? Welcome. Danny, hey hun. Geneva, Smart Creations, welcome. Mylene, hey Mylene. Dempsey Boo, hey Dempsey Boo. Mr. X, I love your name. Every time I see that, I'm like, that is so cool. Mr. X, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And then Dorothy Gaston, welcome. Hey Dorothy Gaston, welcome. It's good to see you. Teresa Chapman, Miss Gail, hey Gail Designs, Laura E. Porgy Town. Hey Porgy. Welcome. Karen Fletcher. Hey Karen. Um, let's see. Yes, at Porgy Town. Hi, Sheila Cushionberry. Hey Honey Bunny. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I got my cool ducky sitting right here watching me right there. She got me that cool ducky. Hey Sharon Davenport, welcome. Thank you for coming to hang out. NJ, welcome. Karen Knighton, welcome. Martha Jordan, welcome. Jason Gibson, welcome. So Sweet Academy. She did a shirt today too. It looked like it was a long sleeve t-shirt, but she did puff embroidery on it. So we're going to go right on in line with that. Maryland, yes, fam. This is Buc-ee's. Y'all, I crossed 2 more Buc-ee's off of my Buc-ee's bucket list. So I am on a mission to visit every single Buc-ee's there is out there. I'm hoping I can fulfill that. And I have started a list of the ones that I visited in order of they have a magnet with each location on it. And I have 4 up on my fridge now. I'm so excited. So I'm hoping to be able to get to all of them. I absolutely love Buc-ee's. And y'all, wow. So Buc-ee's is down with the program. I bought this at Buc-ee's. I know, where was I at? I was at the Applique Getaway, and a lady was asking me if I would make a design for her because she can't find it. And I was like, well, I mean, I could try, and I know some people who do rhinestone designs I could refer you to. And I think I did refer her. I think I referred her to Dennis, but like I told her, if it's commercial based or trademark, I'm not gonna do it. And she was like, well, you did that Buc-ee shirt. And I'm like, you tried me, but guess what, boo? No, I bought that at Buc-ee's. I just have it right here because I want people to see that rhinestones are definitely on and popping. They're available at a very popular spot, a tourist, so to speak. Anyway, she tried me. Had to shut that down. No, I did not make this at all. So that'll be a no, ma'am. Valerie Evans, Teresa Chapman. Let's see. But yeah, I love my shirt. Hey, Evelyn Warner. Welcome. I wasn't too far from you, Miss Evelyn, but I was a little bit too high up to be able to come down that way. Shay, hey honey. Karen Murray. Welcome. Retired Crafter 22. Welcome. Greg Barker, big hugs. And let's scroll down. I'm checking to see because I thought I saw somebody say something about a new baby single needle gang. Right. Oh my God. Donzel. Hey. Capricia. Welcome, my love. Welcome. Diane Wilson. Welcome. Thank you, Donzel and Kristen. Hey, Delonda, honey bunny. Welcome. Let's see. I thought I saw somebody say something about a baby. Hey, honey bun, welcome. Shamira. Could have swore I saw somebody said something about, yeah, she got a serger. I saw it before I went. Whoever it was that got the serger, let me know so that we can ring the bell for you. Because that was super cool. Thank you, Faith. Oh yeah, y'all, I found these. I am excited to try some embroidery on this because it's already pretty. But I haven't been here. These hats came, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and we left Friday, late Friday, but we left Friday. Let me show you. I'm gonna show y'all these hats real quick. I'm running out of time. Hey, Linda Gray. Thank you, Visionary Creations. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Hey, Kristen, love y'all too. Holler. Hey, Nuan. Welcome. I saw. Thank you, Miss Gail. Hey, Betty. I saw a baby. I want to ring the bell for it was a serger. Hey, Patrice Poo. Hope you feel okay and well rested. Hey, Sandra Savoy. Welcome. You're welcome, Mr. X. Girl, I looked you up, Patrice, and I was like, ooh, I am only 5 hours from her. Just a short drive, and I would be there. And I was like, I can't. Thank you, Miss 143. You want to try puff on a shirt? Yeah, it was nice. She did a bomb.com job, and I love that design. Yeah, Miss Rosalind, I'll show you the magnet if y'all want to see it. You making me want to go to Florence tomorrow. So I haven't been to Florence yet, even though I'm so close to it. I mean, I'm not close to it. Oh, hey Bailey Boo. I haven't been. I'm like 2.5 hours from that one, but I haven't been out that way. So that's definitely the biggest one is in Lowling, 75,000 square feet. Oh my God. What is Buc-ee's, Geneva? Please don't make me go off on this whole thing about Buc-ee's, but I'm going to try and sum it up. Think gas station on triple the amount of steroids. So it is massive. It is a huge gas station. And even though it's more than just a gas station, you walk in and it is massive from one end to the other. One end is all like sodas and chips and snacks and blah, 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 blah. The other end, have you ever been to Cracker Barrel? If you've been to Cracker Barrel, then you know how they'll have like little knickknack kind of stuff, but it's more than, it's like clothes. They have kitchen stuff. They have all kinds of, it's tons and tons and tons of stuff. I got my blinged out cowboy hats there. But the thing is, some of the stuff weaved in there is Buc-ee's themed. And this is Buc-ee's. He's a beaver. And he is the mascot of this Texas Christian-based gas station. So, and I'm saying that because y'all, if the good Lord saw fit for me to own one, I would, but I can't because they're private. They're privately owned Christian-based. But I want a Buc-ee so bad, and I want it right here. But anyway, they have all of that, but then they also have a whole gift section of nothing but Buc-ee's labeled stuff. But in the middle, when you walk in, they have brisket that will make you slap somebody. They have, come to find out today, they have turkey as well. They have turkey. They have pulled pork. I mean, and then they have a bomb.com chicken salad. I mean, just you gotta go. If you get a chance to go to a Buc-ee's, the food is amazing. And then on top of that, my other favorite part of Buc-ee's is the coffee. So you can go get, they got this long thing of coffee. You can go get your coffee, and then they got like a coffee bar where you can put all the trimmings and stuff in it. They got the syrups you could pump in there yourself. So if you want 14 squirts of caramel, well, dag nabbit, you can do it. If you want a scoop of caramel and a scoop of chocolate, you can do it. And you ain't got to say brume latte, chop it out, but no, you just do it yourself. Okay. And then they got the bottles of creamer because my favorite creamer is down there. You put, anyway, yeah, it's a whole tangent channel. I love Buc-ee's. I love Buc-ee's. Love Buc-ee's. So I definitely want to go to Lulling and see that one. But anyway, sorry. Scrolling. Yes, ma'am. It was long sleeve, but I use multi-needle. The single needle session is much needed. Oh, no worries. No worries. We are supposed to get a Buc-ee's in Wisconsin near me in 2027. Cyber trainer Judy B. Say less. Okay? Say less. And that's pretty much where we gonna go with that. Oh, you got the brother 1034D Surger, Miss Elba. Congratulations on your surgery. Holla. Yes, honey. Yes, congratulations. And then Faker McFake got 2 new printers. Holler. Yes, honey. Hubby is a keeper. When the men folks buy you stuff, they're keepers. Stacy Collins got a new heat. That's right. Heat press. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. You said you stopped at 3 Buc-ee's on the way to Texas. That's what's up, girl. I love Buc-ee's. EJ's daughter got an embroidery machine, and brother entrepreneur 1PR1X. Congratulations. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes, on your new big baby. Coretta Coco Creations. Hey, honey. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gray Barker has a new baby. What Greg got? Buc-ee's is too much for me, but I'm good. So Shay, Mississippi just opened it. See, we drove through Mississippi, but we might not have been close to it. Shay, go late evening. Like when we go wee hours of the morning, it's nowhere near the crowds. If you go during the day, yeah, it's about like I can't even explain how busy and crowded it is because that's how many people love Buc-ee's. It's just like super duper duper busy, and it's 24 hours, so you can go wee hours of the morning. The best chocolate covered almonds, yeah. And this Karen Murray, yes, honey, like spotless. Spotless. I love their bathrooms. Look, okay, Geneva. So if you've been to Cracker Barrel, you know how they have the clothes and all the little stuff that you can buy. They have a whole big section just like that. Just like that. And the other thing about their bathrooms, especially for all the women in here, they even have the little machine. You know how they have the automatic dispenser for washing your hands at the sink. They have an automatic dispenser to dispense the foam that you can put on the tissue to wipe off the seat and clean it up to disinfect it or whatever before you use it to help. I love them. I love them so much. Beef jerky, yes. Oh, they got a whole huge selection of beef jerky. I'm sorry, we weren't supposed to be talking about Buc-ee's. We wouldn't. We wouldn't, but I'm just saying. And they made sure to put those clean bathrooms in the middle of the store, so you gotta go all the way through the store, and you gotta go past that barbecue to get there. Holler! Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, no, it's so I've been hearing people call it Buc-ee's. I know it's not Buc-ee's, it's Buc-ee's, but it's spelled Bucces. So Daytona, that's the one I went to today. Not to well, I think it was today. So it's St. Augustine. I went to St. Augustine. I went to so the ones that I've been to is the one in Alabama, Leeds. I went to the one outside of Dallas, Texas. I can't remember the name of it right now. They don't call it Dallas, but it's right outside of Dallas. Then I went to the 2 in Florida. One that we didn't even know existed when I was typing it in, and it was brand spanking new. Because we went there wee hours of the morning, and they were like, it was brand new, but going in wasn't too bad. On the way home, we passed it. Y'all, the line was out in the highway to get to the Buc-ee's. Like out on the highway on the exit, there was a line because of people trying to get off to go to Buc-ee's. But anyway, and then one in St. Augustine. But I'll go get the magnet and show you that one. So I went to that one, and then I went to the one in St. Augustine, but the one up higher than St. Augustine. That's the one we went to. Oh, look at me. Oh, Jess, you got a new HTV Run D1 machine. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. Is that the one that's the DTF machine? Is that because I've been seeing stuff about it? Let's see. Yeah, the bathroom is spotless, fam. Like, we gonna go. Oh my God, Tanya. I gotta show y'all this. See, y'all be starting stuff. Y'all the ones that start stuff, and then we go over time, and then and this also show y'all why I'm wearing a hat today. But I got to meet the man himself today. Yes, I did. This was today on the way home. I have never ever got to meet Buc-ee, and I got to take a picture with Buc-ee today. I'm on cloud 25,000 right now. Yes, I did. That's Buc-ee. Mama talking about, did you push little kids out the way? They wasn't moving fast enough, so the kids had to wait. Yes, they did. I took my picture with Buc-ee. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, Sheila Cushionberry. They have like a zillion. They have almost 50 to 100 gas pumps outside. Like, but they still be packed and crowded. Still, because that's just how busy they are. Jacksonville. Jacksonville. That's the one. That's it. That's the one we went to. Okay. So scrolling. DTF. Oh yay, congratulations. No worries, Renee. Missed your live this morning, Shay Shay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry I missed you, Shay Shay. We was getting packed to get the heck up out of Dodge. I know, Karen. They got over 50. I am on a rampage. I want to go to every last one of them, and I'll show you the I did meet Buc-ee. I'm gonna show you the magnet real quick so that because they have two different kinds. Elba's a new member. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Hi. Y'all, Sonny. Yes, let me go get that magnet real quick. And I'm going to show y'all them hats too, because these hats are cute. And I'm going to tell you where I got them from. Ooh. Let's see. So they have two different kind that you can get. And I'm gonna show you the one that I'm definitely collecting. I'm collecting both, but I'm gonna show you the one. Oops, sorry, y'all. I'm gonna show you the one that I'm definitely collecting. Like this is one kind right here. So it's every last book. Well, not every last one of them because Leeds had one, but the one in Dallas didn't have these. But it's the Buc-ee and the name of the individual location on there. So I have one for Brunswick and I have one for Leeds. But I also, these are the magnets that I'm collecting. So I want to myself go and get every last magnet from every last one. That's the plan. But there's the Brunswick. Let me see if I can get where it focuses better. I don't know. It might not. But see, it's got the picture of the Buc-ee's and that big old sign that I see it and I start cheesing because you can see it from a distance. It's so just like way far away. And I got Terrell. That's the name of it. The second one we went to near Dallas is called Terrell. And here's Leeds, Alabama. And then here's St. Augustine. So I have them, had them on the refrigerator in the order that I visited them. So I'm excited to get all of them. But here are the hats, y'all. Real quick, I'm gonna show y'all these and then we'll get into this embroidery because I'm just not gonna be able to get to it if I don't. But here's the black one. Here's the Shay Shay one right here. I mean pink one right here. I kill myself sometimes. And then I love this one, silver. So this is like glitter. You can kind of feel it's fine glitter. You can feel it. And it's a trucker hat. So, and it's not snapback, it's Velcro on the back. And it's a ponytail hat. You see the way that's made in the middle right there? It's a split right there so that you can pull the ponytail through, even though I'm not using that part. I love the silver. The silver is super cute. And I thought I was going to like the purple. It's not my favorite. I thought it was going to be my favorite, but it's not. The silver is my favorite. But here's the purple one. But this is more like magenta, my magenta stones. So technically, there's a couple of things about this hat. Technically, I should theoretically be able to press rhinestones on here, but I'm not going to because I don't know for sure because it's kind of slick. And when I press rhinestones onto glitter vinyl, it doesn't stay. So I don't want to do that. The other thing is glitter is usually polyester based. So you should theoretically be able to sublimate on these. I didn't buy these for sublimation. So I don't want to try because I don't want to mess up these hats. And I don't think they'll mess them up, but I want embroidery, meaning I don't mean I'm gonna mess them up. So theoretically, you should be able to sublimate these. But I bought them to try out embroidery, something really pretty, and I think it's gonna be super cute. So I got these from a online retailer that I've used many times in the past. It's called Buc Wholesale. And I'll put it in the chat. They have a ton of hats, but they were out of a lot of colors when I went on last week. Those were the colors that I wanted. They have a brown one that's really pretty. I was thinking about getting, but I didn't get it because I was putting myself on a budget that I didn't want to go over. I can't remember how much the hats are though, but it's buckwholesale.com if you're interested. I don't have a what's the face link or anything like that. So if you're ever in Houston area, we have Baytown and Katy for you to visit. Okay, Kristen, we are coming to the Houston area actually, so I will definitely be there soon. Hi, Shay Shay. Thank you so much for the soup chat. Jesse and I love long lives. Honey, if I hadn't have been traveling all evening, I definitely would go long, but I am exhausted. Oh, they're $5.99. Thank you, Stacy. Buc is good and cheap too. Yeah, they do have affordable prices on their hats, and I've been using them for years. So, and I have yet to have any issues out of their stuff. So, I just want to try to do some embroidery. All right. So let's get into well, actually I need to do this first, but let's get into doing the embroidery. Hey, to be young, gifted, and black. Welcome. The font that, you know what, I didn't even open it. That's crazy. Let me see if I can't open it so you can, well, let me see if I can't open it so y'all can see it. It's a Stitchtopia font. And I have been on Stitchtopia getting fonts lately. We're not going to talk about how many more fonts I have added to my collection because that's my business, not yours. But fonts are awesome, and we're just gonna leave it at that. Oh, she got a new one this week. Oh my god, this is so unfair. All right, so let me go to search products and type this in. And here is the font right here. I'm gonna share screen. Oh no, it ain't gonna be no long while because the heifer is gonna be exhausted and go my butt to sleep tonight. So this is the font. It's called Georgia Peach. Very pretty font, very gorgeous. It kind of puts me in mind a little bit of like Times New Roman, honestly. But this is the font that she was trying to use on a t-shirt. And so let me see if I can't zoom in on this because there's something I can't zoom. There. So the thing about this is, let me cut me off. The thing about this is, see how, and she says it in the stitch type, it's a split satin stitch. So technically that should not matter, but when you are embroidering on a stretchy material such as t-shirt material, jersey knit, types of stitches do matter. Your needle matter, a lot of stuff matters to make your life easier. But one of the things that sometimes people may not realize is a satin stitch, as gorgeous as it is, it's a long stitch and it has a bit of a pull to it, like a which is why they call pull compensation, where they adjust the, you can adjust the stitching so that it doesn't pull as hard as it normally would with the fibers on the shirt. So you, and it, anyway, that's going into the science of it, and I really can't go too deep into that because I'm not that knowledgeable. The GOAT is, but I didn't want to ask too many questions because I was already getting a favor, phoning a friend, and out the blue for no less, and received a response, and it was just, I'm grateful. So let's open up Sew It Pro because that is the software program that is not Sew It Pro. That's the software program that I use to do all my embroidery editing. And then we will, what did I click on? Silhouette Studio. Oh, that's why. Hey, Anita Creations. Yes, stabilizer is extremely important. We are definitely going to talk about that. The GOAT brought that out as well. That font is cute, ain't it? Okay. Come on, Silhouette. You tripping. Oh, let's close you out. Oh my gosh, y'all. When I tell y'all that Chris Milk Collabo is bomb.com, she is bomb.com. She took the time to teach me about doing my quilting with y'all. Oh, she is awesome. Okay, so did me a video and everything, y'all. Anyway. So here is Sew It Pro. I'm going to zoom in. Boop, 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 boop. And we are going to merge in some letters. No, it's not letting me merge. Hold on. Open because it's new, so that's why. Desktop. I'm gonna go to my downloads folder because I just downloaded it and it's right here. I need the small one. I think this is it. 2-inch. Yes. Okay, so I am using a 5x7 hoop. So I'm trying to think what good word to use. Let's do I don't want to do too much pull, but I want a little bit of pull. So let's do, I'm not gonna do Buc-ee's because that's too long. Let's do Buc. Why not? All right, and now I'm going to change this hoop size to 5x7. Boop. And this is 2 inches size font. And now I'm going to go to my lettering pane, and there's the uppercase B. So we're going to go with B. Wrong. That is not right. Oh, she has it all in the same folder. Okay, so let's see. Is this it? Possibly. Let me come down. They're getting bigger. Okay, so no, they're right here. There we go. Let me take that away. That might be 2.5 actually. So let's go back up to this one. Nope, no. Okay, I'm gonna stick with this because who got time to all this drama? Not me. All right, so I'm gonna move this over. Yeah, that's the right one. Let me move this over some more, and let me get the C, and let me get the K. And let's put that right there. Okay. Buc for Buc-ee and Buc for Buc wholesale, since we doing both. All right, I'm gonna close this out. So this is 6,637 stitches, which is over here in the upper right hand corner. Okay, and I purposely picked like some rounded letters because your pull compensation or the pull of these stitches flow with the curve when you have the rounded. So that'll also kind of test the limits of our stabilizer. And hopefully this won't take too long to stitch out. I'm hoping it won't. But this is the word that we're going to use. Now, while I get this set up, we'll talk about the stabilizers and stuff. If you are interested in Sew What Pro, this is Sew What Pro Cyber Trainer Judy. And the link to this is in the description of this video. But be mindful, 2 sizes for this font. Yeah, well, not 2 sizes, but 2 groups of sizes. So whenever when Stitchtopia makes her fonts, most of them have a large size and a small size. So is it still up? Yeah, it is. Come on. Oh, let's minimize this and see if it's back there. Nope. There we go. So like Georgia Peach, let's go back. Oh, I did click the wrong one, Shay Shay. So this one is 7 point. So this is a 3/4, as small as 3/4, 1 inch, 1 1/4, 1.5, and 2 inches in this group. So if you have I did pick the right one because that's 2 inches. But if you have a 5x7 or, single needle, a lot of times these are the fonts that we'll use. But even if you have a single needle with a much larger hoop size, in some instances you can go with the bigger fonts. And this one has 2.5-inch size, 3-inch, 3.5, 4, and 5-inch. So definitely, yes, check the sizes when you go to download your fonts. Um, because usually she has a large size set and a small size set of the exact same font. And she also sometimes has a not just the stitch version like Georgia Peach, and she'll also have like the puff embroidery version as well of some of her fonts. So I love Stitchtopia. I've been using it for years. Love her thing. Need help. Need to make a 15-inch wide ribbon banner to embroider. I can't find anything bigger than 10 inches. Are you talking about a font? You can't find a font bigger than 10 inches to embroider with? Is that you are talking about? Let me see. Because it could be digitized for you, possibly, if you have somebody that does fonts. Alphabets by size. And then two, let's see what she has. So she may not have bigger than that. Entire screen. No, the outline of the ribbon banner. I can't find an outline bigger than 10 inches. Oh, you need to make it 15 inches wide. So you're talking about hoop size, or so like my one hoop on my multi needle goes up to 22 inches, I think. Or are you talking about a software that will let you lay it out bigger than 10 inches? I want to make sure I'm understanding and answering correctly. But for anybody else who may be looking for a certain size, when you come to Stitchtopia, you can go to shop and then you can do alphabets by size as well. And so if you need 8 inches and larger, you can click here and she'll show all of the fonts that she has that are massive size fonts. Right. So, but are you trying to do with even with the congrats ribbon banner? Are you where your limitation is it the software or is it the hoop? That's my question. That you can't find bigger than 10 inches. Are you talking about the software? You can't lay out bigger than 10 inches? Or are you talking about the hoop you can't lay out bigger than 10 inches? These are some of her fonts that are massive size. It's the file to stitch out. So Sew Up Pro, you can make a custom size hoop. And you also actually can just use this back here, but you can make a custom size. So if I go to hoops, you have a large hoop like mine. So if you go to hoops, let me close this back out. Boop. So this is 5x7. And if you go right here, this green dot in the middle, it looks like a hoop, but it's green on the inside field. This is the latest version of Sew Up Pro. And you click there. You can go here. So there's hoop size. And then right here, see how it said, well, let's start up here so that you can, whoever can follow. So it's hoop size. Then come down, you see the picture of the embroidery machine. It says machine type and embroidery type. So the machine type, they'll let you pick. Here are the different machines where they already have standard hoop sizes programmed in already for you. So if you have the Quattro, you can just leave it on Quattro and you will always pull up hoop sizes for your Quattro. I have all hoops because, I don't pay that no attention, me personally, but I'm weird. So, and then embroidery type PES, that's what my machine uses. So I just leave it on PES because actually down here it doesn't matter. So right here where it says baby lock, there's Baby Lock, Bernina, Brother. Can you see that right here in the middle, those tabs? Oh, thank you. Sorry. Sorry. Thank you for yelling at me, Sheila. I probably have text messages too and just don't know it. Okay, there we go. Let me take me off too so that you can see better. Okay. All right. So let me go back. Here's the G.O.A.T Pro interface. Here's the G.O.A.T Pro interface. And actually, let me pull this down. I'm gonna try and make it bigger because on my screen, the information at the very top was in the way. So I'm gonna try and make this bigger here. All right. So right here, here's your area to design. Right up, directly up above it, you'll see a black hoop shape. I know, right? I be just going. That's how we do. Sometimes we're not looking at the screen. But here's the hoop. Adjust hoop size. You also can do Control H and it'll pull this up as well on your keyboard if you have a Windows computer. But it has the little green dot in the middle right here. So let's click there and it pulls up your hoop properties. Okay. Yeah, Sheila was going. She was going to text me and send me a message if she didn't already. So here's your hoop properties, right? So here's machine type again, and then here's embroidery type that y'all couldn't see. So machine type, when you click this drop down, it gives you this list of machines that they have the hoops already pre-programmed in for you. So if I have the PE 770, which technically is what I'm using, these are the hoops that it uses. Period. Like there's no other hoops made for that machine. Unless it's aftermarket and they have them programmed in for you. Or say for instance, you have the Dreammaker XE. Here are all of the hoops that are made for that machine, unless you get something aftermarket. Okay. So I don't really mess with that too much. And then embroidery type PES, that technically doesn't matter either because I know, right? I'd be muted. Because your G.O.A.T Pro can change any embroidery um, file extension into whatever file extension you need if it's just a basic embroidery thing, not like Wilcom Hatch. It can't do a Wilcom Hatch file, but it can do when you save it as a PES or XXX or something like that, it'll save it to another type if you need it. But at any rate, right up under where it says PES, you have tabs across the top right here. There's Baby Lock, Bernina, Brother, Kenmore, Husqvarna, Janome. And notice there's arrows right here on the side. You see that? So you can click this right arrow and it will bring up more. Melco, FAVE, Poem, Poolin. Poolin is in there now. Nice, because Poolin is a newcomer. Redline, Singer, Smart Stitch, and you also can touch these over here. HIA, don't know what that is, but look, this one says user. This one says user. So this very last tab, you can make your own hoop size. So see right here, clear user hoops, which I don't have any. But you put in the width times your height. Okay. And I don't know what plus RET is. I've never seen that because I updated it recently and I didn't see it. So say for instance, I'm gonna switch it to inches. So you said you need something bigger than 10 inches, but my hoop goes to, especially my sash hoop, I think it goes to 22 inches. So I'm gonna throw a number out here. It's probably not the right number, but I'm gonna say my hoop is 15 inches. And then I'm gonna put the X. Whoops. I don't know why my hand is doing that. X. And then what did I say? 22. Okay. 15x22. I think this is the right format to put it in because there's a space or something. So let's go over to user again. I don't know why it blanked out. Did it not put it? Okay, so let's try that again. Maybe I don't put a space. 1522. And then there we go. So 15 by 20, 15 capital letter X, just in case our lowercase doesn't work. And then 22, no spaces. And then you hit enter and notice here, now it pops up. Kizzy Bell Creations, thank you for becoming a member. Holler. Yes, honey. Yes. So with Sew It Pro, you can make your own hoop, and now we can select that one and then hit OK. And now you have a massive hoop to play with. Let's scroll out. Oh, it did it the up and down way. I hate that. Let's do that again. Hold on. So that's the up and down version. So say, okay, that's good actually. So now, say for instance, whatever hoop it was I put in, I want the up and down version to be able to lay out my embroidery design, or I want the landscape side to side version. So I did 15 by 22 at first. So now we're going to do 22, 15 by 15, and then hit enter. And so now here it is the long way, and I'm gonna hit OK. And so there's that now. So it's the long way. This is the exact same thing I just did. This is 2 inches that I just had on that bitty 5x7 frame. Now it's in a 15 by 22 inch frame. So over here, this allows you to be able to lay out something much larger. So you can go bigger than that if you need to. Um, because as I said, it's a user entry, and so you can put in the size that you need. Okay, so hopefully that helps. That if that's something that'll be helpful to you. So this again, this is for my 5x7 though. So let's go back to the 5x7 hoop. And then we will put that on the thing. All right, so let me save this. Oh, actually, let's do this number right here. I'm gonna join these so that it won't keep stopping after each letter. And now I'm gonna save it. So we're gonna save as, and then I'm gonna put it on my downloads folder. And then it's a PES over there, so I'm gonna leave that, and then I'm gonna name it as Buc Test. And then we're gonna save it. Boop. All right. So hopefully, oh man, I did that again. I hate when I do that. I gotta remember to do it that way. Okay, so let's go over to the thingy over there. But first, I'm gonna save this to my. Oh, Chris Smith says always put width size by height that way instead of the other way. There's there we go. Whoop. All right, and so we are going to do a couple of tests if I can, if I have time. That's gonna be the problem. Hopefully, there we go. Hopefully my camera ain't all over the place and it doesn't look like it is. So again, in considering different things with doing embroidery on a t-shirt, the number one thing you have to keep into consideration with doing any type of embroidery on your material, you have to consider the material that you're embroidering on. And whenever you're embroidering on a material that has a stretch, you run the risk of having puckering. That's a part of it. Hey, Latanya, welcome. So let's see, I have that in there. Let's do this number right here, USB. There's Buc. Let's set it. I don't want it up and down. I want it rotated. Is it gonna let me? No, because that's the way this hoop is. So let's hit OK. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the shirt several times so that we're not doing a whole bunch of shirts. Okay. Hey Fern. So you have to consider your material. Is your material stretchy? And jersey knit t-shirt fabric is pretty much always going to be stretchy. So in addition to determining, one of the other reasons why you have to determine is it stretchy or not is because you need to know what needle to use. That's also a huge consideration. So when you are, and hopefully, let me see if there's a way I can I can put this down. Let's see. We might have to be a little bit wasteful. I don't like to be wasteful, but we may have to do this because I can't think of another way to do this. Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Okay. We're going to have to do it this way, y'all, because I wasn't here in enough time to plan ahead. Hey, Joyce T. Welcome. So the first thing you want to consider, now this is anytime you're doing embroidery, consider your material. So if you have a crafter's journal, you need to put this in your crafter's journal. If you have one of these, which hopefully you do, the My Pretty Perfect planner, this is at So Sweet Monogramming. This is made definitely especially for embroidery, but you can use it for other stuff too. Go put them chicks up, girl. Then you need to put this like in, you need to put this in your book, okay? So that you'll have this. But you want to consider your material, because your material is going to tell you what needle to use, what stitch stabilizer to use, and it'll also help you understand what type design to put on it would be the best. You can put any design on anything for the most part, but to get the best results, you want to consider your material, okay? So after you consider your material, you need to make sure you have the correct needle. And I have chicken scratch handwriting. I apologize ahead of time. So, correct needle. Make sure that you have the correct needle. Okay? Now that we have the correct needle and you know what needle to use, because stretchy material needs a jersey knit or a ballpoint needle. They're both the same, technically the same thing. There are some differences, but as far as somebody that's a beginner, and I hate to say that, because when you dive into something to become an expert and learn the most about stuff, you want to learn the correct terminology and the correct information about it so that you make the right choice. But you can do a ballpoint or a jersey knit needle. They both will work the same way on jersey knit. It'll stretch your fibers out the way without tearing your fibers. So regular embroidery on anything else that's not stretchy, you can use just a regular sharp embroidery needle. But when you're doing t-shirts, you want to make sure you have the correct needle. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing is you want to look at your stabilizer. You want to look at your stabilizer. There are a ton of different stabilizers out there. Would that be the same for sewing? Yes, Kristen, that is the same for sewing. So if you're sewing stretchy material, you definitely want to look at doing a ballpoint or a jersey knit needle, because otherwise you could punch holes in and you won't see them right away, but as you wash it over and over, your embroidery or your stitching could fail. Now, oh, actually, hold on. Ooh, Lord, but let me listen, Linda. Listen, let me come over here because it's got to be eyeball to eyeball. Before I get any deeper into this, before I get any deeper in this, I'm gonna ask a question, rhetorical. You don't necessarily have to answer it, but say, for instance, you have been exhibiting heart attack symptoms, right? And you've been having some issues with your blood pressure for a few years. some high cholesterol. We know, and this, I'm not violating no HIPAA nothing, even though technically I could talk about myself. But you've been having concerns about your heart, right? Can you go to your PCP? Yes, you can go to your primary care physician, because in most instances, your primary care physician is your internal medicine doctor or your general practice medicine doctor, right? Would you feel better going to a cardiologist though? Maybe, maybe not. If you're, I know, Miss Evelyn, hope follow the train tracks for me. Follow the train tracks. Just give me a minute. Follow the train tracks. You could go to your primary care physician, and you could even see the PA, the nurse assistant, and get answers. And say, for instance, you've been having these issues, they change your blood pressure medicine, and you're not seeing any change in your blood pressure, you're not seeing any change in your cholesterol levels, and you say, you know what, I want to see a specialist. And your PCP gets offended. And your PCP is like, I don't know why you want to go to a cardiologist. I know what I'm talking about just as much as he does. That could be true. What does the cardiologist have that the PCP does not have? That's my question to y'all. I know, Fern. It takes a long time to get to see the specialist. But what does the specialist have that the PCP doesn't have? That's my question to y'all. Before we get any deeper than this, I need to know, what does the specialist have that the PCP does not have? Kristen, specialized training. Patricia, experience. So crafty, expertise. Specialty in training. More. The reason why I'm bringing this out, the reason why I'm bringing this out, because there have been times through the years where I may bring out something and I'm like, okay, well, like for instance, like my homie's shirt she did that she did tonight. If you wear it, don't tear it, right? You hear it all over the place. Well, there are some groups and some people in groups that are like, I don't, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. You can tear, I use tearaway stabilizer all the time. Guess what, fam? That's awesome for you. Okay. If you use that method and it works for you, I am ecstatic for you. I am so happy for you because you've beat the game. You've answered all the problems. You don't have to worry about this. So whatever information I am presenting to you tonight, whether you agree with it or whether you don't, it's a matter of opinion. I choose to rely on experience. And I'm not talking about my experience. I'm not NOT talking about my experience, because my experience with embroidery on t-shirts is pain in the butt. But I am going off of the experience of someone who has experience for dang near 60 plus years of experience. Okay. So I'm not just saying what I'm saying. Actually, the experience is longer because this person referred to experience that's been handed down for years. Okay. So, saying all that to say, yes, I am giving some information on a very touchy subject in a lot of embroidery forums. And it is okay if you do not agree with what I am saying. Okay. It's fine. It is definitely fine. Okay. But I'm not saying this because I say it's law. I'm saying this because I prefer to learn from experience from folks who have gone before me, because I really don't think it makes sense for me to have to go and I've never put a fork in a light socket before. And I don't think it would be wise for me to put a fork in the light socket just to see how it feels or just to see if I can do it to get away with it. That's a type of experience I really choose not to go through. So I'm going to do what somebody who went before me has gotten consistent, positive, top-notch results so that I don't stand over there crying and upset when I do my embroidery and my customer washes it and now all of a sudden it's all wrinkled and bunched up looking, and they're mad at me because they paid me $50 to do that shirt, and now their shirt looks like trash when they took it out of the washing machine. I'm just saying. So anyways, I had to clear that out. I had to throw that out there because there's all kind of experiences out there. Like there's experiences with some folk don't agree with the single needle, multi needle, all that. Who cares? Okay, at that point, do you? All right, and if you hear what I'm telling you today, and you're like, you know what, I think I'm gonna try doing tearaway anyway. Go for it. Go for it. Because I love trying and testing stuff too. But certain things, like the possibility of tearing up my machine or the possibility of ticking off my customer because I decided to try and do this on a customer's project and just to see if I could get away with it, no, that's a different kind of a testing level. Okay. I'm not going to stick my finger or a fork in that light socket. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to the embroidery machine. I'm just saying, you can disagree. It's all right. It will not hurt my feelings in at least a little bit because that's on you. Okay. All right. So going back, I had to put that out there. I had to. Okay. So like we said, consider your material. Another thing about considering your material and what you're embroidering on, which was also brought out, and I'm actually going to read verbatim when the time comes what I was told. But at any rate, this is a Gildan heavy duty, heavy cotton rather t-shirt, and this is what I'm going to embroider on because I don't want drama tonight. And then this is a soft style Gildan soft style. Um, Over somewhere. I may not have it in here. I may have forgotten to bring it in here. So you have Bella Canvas, which we all know Bella Canvas is a whole lot more flexible and it's thin and stuff like that. So when you are considering your stabilizer that you're going to use, and when you're considering the design that you're going to put on the item that you're embroidering, you need to know what you're embroidering on so that you can put the appropriate embroidery design on the material technically. Okay, now there's a way around that, but you may not like the results of the way around it. So let me give you a for instance. At this point I'm gonna keep talking and we'll never get to the embroidery, but it is what it is. So this, or actually denim. Say if I had a piece of jeans material, I could embroider just about anything on that denim material. When I say material, are you referring to fabric? I am referring to fabric. Thank you, Miss Evelyn. Yes, we are referring to fabric. Um, Thank you for asking so that I could clarify that. So this is a t-shirt, but denim is not as stretchy and it's thicker. It's a heavier material. Like canvas can be a heavier material, but even with canvas, you have some tote bags that are super floppy, and then you have some tote bags that are pretty sturdy, like my brand new Buc-ee's tote bag. You want me to see? I'm gonna show y'all my brand new Buc-ee's tote bag. I gotta show it because it's cute. I gotta show it to you, girl. And this thing is 32. I gotta show it off because it's Buc-ee's. I got it today. But look at this Buc-ee's tote bag, y'all. It is so cute. And the other reason why I went and got it, not just because it's cute, is because it's sturdy. This thing is like heavy duty canvas. Whereas I have some tote bags around here where it's like super floppy and thin, and it's like, bro, I don't even want to put my groceries in that. It might fall at the bottom. No, this is nice and sturdy. So I can embroider on this and not have to worry about my embroidery at all, because that's how sturdy this is. Whereas if I bring a piece of satin or a piece of silk to embroider what I'm going to embroider on this shirt tonight, that's going to pucker, and it's going to, you it's not going to represent the embroidery very well unless you stabilize it properly. But the problem that people don't realize when they're considering their material and considering the stabilizer is, the point of stabilizer is not to stabilize per se the garment or the item that you're putting the stitches on. The point is to stabilize the stitches. Yes, Fern, and we gonna get to that because I gotta show it to you. It's a process. We on the train track, and the train is moving down the train track. It's gonna take it a minute, which is why I'm afraid I won't be able to get to this right away. But or get the stitch. But you can embroider a heavy, dense embroidery design on this shirt if you have the right amount and type of stabilizer. You absolutely can. But you have to know what stabilizer to use behind that embroidery. And you have to understand that if you use the thicker stabilizer to hold a whole lot more stitches, then you're going to see an imprint of stabilizer behind the shirt, because you're trying to stabilize properly all of those stitches. If you don't stabilize all of those stitches properly, then when your customer washes it, it's going to come out with your embroidery looking like this on the front of the shirt. Okay. I mean, you can try, like I said, just try it and see how it turns out for you. If it turns out where you don't have to worry about that, then great. I love it. I'm happy for you. Okay. So your stabilizer is important. Let's talk about stabilizers really, hopefully, somewhat quickly. What did I do with that thing that I brought over here? I thought. What did I do with that? This is what happens when you come last second. Did I put it back in the drawer? Oh, I dropped it. Okay. Love DIME. And a lot of other companies that offer stabilizer. So they have this book, A Stabilizer for Every Fabric. Okay. These are the stabilizers that they offer. So if you thought there was just tearaway and cutaway, no, there's a whole lot more. So there's water soluble, there's medium medium weight firm tearaway, heavy weight firm tearaway, and notice firm. You have peel and stick tearaway. You have tear and wash tearaway, and you have medium soft tearaway. So you have a firm tearaway and you have a soft tearaway, right? But for our t-shirts, we're not going to use, I'm not going to recommend tearaway. I'm just not. Okay. So then you have cutaway. All the dark blues are cutaway. You have lightweight cutaway, no show white cutaway, medium weight white cutaway, and heavyweight white cutaway. Now, I'm going to mention as well, there are even more stabilizers out there than this. There are more. There are more stabilizers out there than this. They even have stabilizers in different colors. Okay. So let me show you what they did for you guys. If you wanted to, you can go and you can order this, and it'll show you all the different stabilizers and like little samples of the stabilizers, right? so that you can see what it looks like. And you even have a couple of sheets of some, not Kim Rogers, a couple of sheets of some samples in here, which is super cool, so that you can try them out and see how they work. One of them is a fusible stabilizer, which we'll get into here in a moment, but see, here's so that you can see what they look like. So, like common sense, honestly, common sense would tell you, even without seeing what type of stabilizer this is, are you going to be able to put 10,000 stitches on this and expect it to hold in your garment very well? It's too flimsy. It's too thin. It's not gonna your honestly, and I wish I knew where I saw it. I'm wondering if it's on my embroiderer's compass. But if you there's a thing I saw somewhere, and I'm gonna see if I can't find it, where it tells you about the different stabilizers and how many stitches roughly you should be looking to put on that stabilizer, because technically each stabilizer has a maximum weight limit. Technically, okay, technically each stabilizer has a maximum weight limit, so you could help that by saying, okay, well, if this stabilizer has a 5,000 stitch weight limit, then put two pieces. You could technically do that, and that's been recommended. But I gotta find where I saw that information so that you guys will know I'm not just pulling stuff just to be saying. All right, so this is super cool. This is showing you some different stabilizers, right? Yes, there is a fusible stabilizer that you can use, and I'm gonna write that down. You don't have to, because something that you're working with may not be able to do fusible, because fusible means that it fuses to it. So you would use heat to attach it to the back of your stretchy material. And the fusible stabilizer, once you press it and attach it to the back of your stretchy, it won't stretch anymore because the fusible stabilizer does not stretch. Okay. And that's what causes puckers. The stretch is what causes your puckering. Okay. So there's a fusible stabilizer, and then there is a mesh stabilizer. Okay. So the mesh stabilizer is also, they have no-show mesh. There's all kind of situations where they'll call it, but at the end of the day, it's a mesh, and it doesn't stretch. It doesn't stretch very much at all. So you can use the mesh stabilizer to help support your cutaway. So it was recommended a medium weight cutaway. Medium weight cutaway is what was recommended to go behind a t-shirt, embroidery on a t-shirt. Okay. So let me read the message that I was given, and then we'll work on getting this thing hooped. And of course, that's not all the information, but that's your main basics that you need to think about when you are getting ready to do embroidery on a t-shirt. So I reached out to my dear friend, Mr. John Deere, who has done embroidery for zillions of years. And I hate to put him out there like that because he's not that old, but his grandparents taught him how to digitize, because they were digitizing embroidery designs before there were even computers to digitize with. Okay, so they've embroidered on some of everything. They've digitized some of everything. They've experienced doing digitizing on all kinds of different materials, even doing freestanding lace and lace materials and stuff like that. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just like I watched, and I need to find that DVD and tell you guys about it. I think it's Superior Threads. They go into deep detail about embroidery needles and teaching you about embroidery needles so that you'll be educated about embroidery needles, because that's what they do. They have embroidery needles, they make them. And so or at least they sell them, but they know a heck of a lot about embroidery needles. And I highly lean on what they say about embroidery needles. Well, when it comes to digitizing and embroidery, I do definitely weigh what John Deere has to say very heavily. So I reached out and I asked him, if you don't mind, could you give 2 or 3 pointers that would help a new person embroider pucker free on a t-shirt? Okay. So number one, his suggestion is you hoop your t-shirt, never float your t-shirt. And I'll show you why he will say that when we get to hooping our t-shirt. Number two, he said use quality t-shirts that are sold for decorators. Cheap products can shrink after laundering, which will make the embroidery look terrible after the first wash. Okay. So I'm not saying that you cannot embroider on Bella canvas, but I am saying that's an awful thin t-shirt to be doing some heavy embroidery on. Okay. So depending upon what you're embroidering, you need to kind of consider how many stitches or how heavy the embroidery design is that you're putting on your fabric. If you're using a heavyweight tee, like a heavy cotton tee like this one, you can get away with a lot more stitches or a little bit more sturdy of a or dense of a design than you could if I did the thin Bella canvas type t-shirt. Okay. Um, Number three, a soft, medium weight cutaway stabilizer is what is suggested, not too thick. Okay. So soft, medium weight cutaway stabilizer, not too thick. Number four, fusible interfacing might help with high density designs, but I'd still use the soft, medium cutaway as well. Okay. So again, number one, hoop, never float. Number two, use quality t-shirts that are sold for decorating purposes. Number three, use a soft, medium weight cutaway stabilizer, not a thick, not too thick for the shirt. Okay. And then number four, fusible interfacing might help with high density designs, but I'd still use the soft, medium cutaway stabilizer anyway. Okay. Kristen, you don't want your embroidery to be heavier than your material base. That is absolutely correct. Miss Barb has been doing embroidery for years. Bella canvas is a nightmare to embroidery, she says. As long as Miss Barb has been embroidering, I would weigh Chris Smith, I would weigh their opinions heavily because they have the experience. They've been doing it. They've seen what happens. They've seen how embroidery turns out one way or the other. I don't know. Miss Barb may use tearaway on her t-shirts. I don't know. She might. And if they work for her, she's figured out her method. She's figured out what she's doing. She's figured out what to do with certain designs. I'm all for it for her. I will not use tearaway with my t-shirts because I also have seen what happens when you wash embroidery and you didn't stabilize it right, which is why I definitely am not the expert on embroidering on t-shirts because I've screwed up so many t-shirts that don't make any kind of sense. Okay. So let's go to doing embroidery on a t-shirt. Now I was going to do it on here, but I'm going to use this one because this shirt stretches. It's softer, so it'll stretch faster than the black one will. Okay. And let me move this back. I already did put the design in there, so we already have it. And she said, keep a journal of what works for you. That's very smart, especially with a project, a specific project, especially with a specific project, because that's one of the mistakes that I always make. And I have a pretty perfect planner, so I really don't have an excuse. But when you, like, say, for instance, you get a customer and they want you to embroider Buc on their t-shirts because that's their logo, and you get the job and they say, oh, we need 10 shirts to start with. But if we like your shirts, then we'll come back and we'll get 50 the next time, and then we'll get 50 every month because we get customers turnover and blah, blah, blah. Write your stuff down, write your settings down, write the colors that you use down, write down the stabilizer that you use, write down all of that, because when you go to do that project again 6 months down the road and you get to be a woman of premenopausal age, will probably forget some of the stuff that you're supposed to have for that shirt, and then you got to figure it out all over again, or one part all over again. Make it easier on yourself. Write your stuff down. I didn't. So we're not even gonna go there. Okay. So let me show you how this looks when you're doing hooping for your stabilizer. And I'm gonna do a kind of a test. I'm gonna see if I can't get this test to work. All right. And I'm going to zoom in so that you can see this test, hopefully a little bit better. That's the closest I can zoom in. Okay. So where is, oh, you know what? I can use chalk. All right. So here is the shirt, right? This is a basic soft style purple t-shirt. And just to make my life easier, I'm just going to hoop down here because this is going to be a test t-shirt. So when you're hooping with an actual hoop, as he mentioned, it's better to hoop the shirt instead of float the shirt. If you float your t-shirts and they work out perfect for you, it's okay. It is a-okay. I promise. What I'm saying, you can just be like, she don't know what she talking about. I can do it all the time. I'm happy for you. Please continue to float your shirts the way that work for you. Okay. So I'm talking to other folks who are new, and you'll be like, why is she telling them that when they go, okay, well, they'll figure it out on their own. If they decide they don't want to float and they want to try floating, then that's going to be on them. But I'm going to tell you guys what experts have said. Okay. And it ain't just John, that's on the embroidery compass as well. So there's that. All right. So this is a medium weight, soft, cutaway stabilizer. All right. And here's my hoop. This is the outside hoop. And this is the inner hoop. And the way, if you don't know, the way we'll hoop is, here's my medium weight cutaway stabilizer. Here's the inner hoop. I'm going to lay my shirt over the top of this. And then what we'll do is press this down into the outer hoop, just like this, with the shirt, and it will stabilize. It'll stabilize the hoop for the embroidery, lock the shirt in place so that it doesn't shift around and stretch and pull up against this medium weight stabilizer. I am not going to use any spray adhesive. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not making this smaller. I need to make it bigger. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's do an experiment. And hopefully this experiment will show what I'm trying to get you to see. All right, so here is the front of the shirt. My goal is to hoop this nice and taut. See how you can see that wrinkle right there? And there's a little bit of pucker right in here. Then that means it's not, see, this is how we want it to be, like this, not like that, not stretched. You don't want to stretch any part of this shirt when you're hooping. Okay. So let's see. Let me get this like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. So I'm going to mark this right there. And I'm going to mark this right here. And I'm going to mark this up here. And I'm going to mark this down here. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to, and I'm marking the center as well. So it's going to be kind of like a crosshairs almost of sorts. Okay, so what I want to do is show you how once I hoop this, this is maybe a quarter of an inch, and maybe about a quarter. This is closer to 3/4. I'm sorry, a half. That's closer to a half, but a quarter of an inch down here. We don't want any one of these lines touching this hoop when I hoop this shirt. We don't want these lines to touch this hoop, because if any of those lines touch this hoop, then that means there's a stretch to it. Okay. or we definitely don't want them hidden. I'll put it that way. We don't want them hidden because there may be a slightest of stretch, but we don't want stretch. Okay, that's what we were wanting to avoid as much as possible. So I'm gonna open up the shirt, lay this on the inside. All right, and once I lay this on the inside, I'm going to take my medium weight cutaway stabilizer and I'm going to cover this entire hoop. All right. And then I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to cover the stabilizer. Now I'm holding my hand on the stabilizer to keep it from shifting, because sometimes as you're adjusting your shirt over the top of the stabilizer, you can, inadvertently grab your stabilizer and pull it, and there it's not covering the hoop like it's supposed to, and that'll, make you use language that you really shouldn't be using in the sewing room, unless you are okay with that language anyway. I'm just saying, I got to be careful with that. Me personally. So I have it laid. Now, what I want to do is position this on the shirt and make sure that this, actually, the bottom hoop is centered behind this where I need it to be. So here's the edge there, and see how this is where I want my hoop to be, like this. This is how I just drew the marks on it, but there's no bottom hoop back here for me to push it into. That's because this bottom hoop is too far down this way. So there's a couple of ways I can do that. I can either shift the bottom hoop, but because this is a medium weight cutaway stabilizer, 9 times out of 10, if I shift that hoop, my stabilizer won't shift with it. So what I'm going to do is hold this stabilizer again, and I'm just going to pull the shirt down a little bit until it looks like the hoop has positioned itself where I needed it to be. And I'm going to check that. Okay. So again, now this is loose. I'm pulling it, yes, but this is very loose. I'm not stretching the fibers of the shirt so that it's for embroidery purposes. I'm just pulling the shirt to get it in place. All right. So did he call me? I don't think he did. Okay. I want to make sure my husband didn't call me because he wasn't feeling his best. Okay. So here is, all right. So I feel, see, their hoop is right there, but it's not up here. So my hoop is kind of crooked back here. So I'm going to, if it's up there and it's not here, I need this to, I think, come down this way. And we're going to angle it. Those marks on the shirt help a lot. Okay. So now let's see where I am. Okay, I got my hoop here. I still don't have my hoop there. Okay. So it was crooked up under there. All right, now we cooking with grease. Okay, so there's my 1/2 inch, but look, my thing down here is hidden. So I'm gonna slide this down a little bit. Slide this down. And look, now I can press the top end, but I got to shift it over some. So now, oh, I hear him now. He's doing his thing. So now this is closer than that. So that's still not right. So this, you see what I'm saying? This is like a little bit of a dance to get it just so. But once you get it, you're good. And of course, the more you do this, the better off you'll be learning how to do it. Okay. So now see how I can tell I'm where I need to be there. I'm where I need to be here. So I should be able to push this in. But notice there's slack here. See that right there? There's that right there. There's that. That's a little bit of slack. So in this instance, you can give a slight, very, very, very slight tug on the shirt. Very slight. Okay. Very slight. Just a little, just a tad bit of that slack. Not a whole lot. And the reason why you still want just a little bit of slack is because once I press this hoop down in here, just the pressure of pushing it down together is going to create tension on this fabric anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and try and push this in place. All right, so now my shirt is in place. I still have some slack, a little bit of slack there, but my shirt is hooped. Where are my lines? Can you see the lines? Did I stretch any of the lines out? There's still a little bit of slack up here, and we'll address that here in a sec. But you see where my lines are, they're almost where I had them to begin with. They're off a little bit, like that's crooked, but I didn't want to take a zillion years to get it perfectly, because I'll be all day long, because that's just how I am. I like for my stuff to line up with my marks, but I'm doing this kind of rush. But once I push these pieces together, it locks this in place. So my shirt is hooped. I don't have any stretch to it because my lines did not stretch out of place, but I still have some slack. See that? You don't really want that very much at all. So you can, in this instance, again, when I'm saying the slightest of tugs, and I really don't want to do that because I hooped it super tight. So let me loosen it just a little bit. Let me loosen this hoop. There we go. So that I can pull just a little itty bitty bit. Like, don't stress. See how I was able to pull? Did you see that? Look at this one right here. Just a slight pull. Nope, that one ain't working. Hold on. Am I grabbing stabilizer? I'm grabbing stabilizer. Okay. See? See, I pulled that, and yet this is still in place. That's still in place. I don't have any. They do have magnetic hoops, Shay. They do. So I can pull just a little bit. Let me see. Let's see how much is in there. There's still a good bit right there. So let's get that, and just a slight pull. Slight pull. You do not want to stretch to where, see how I still have, now I did pull that one a little bit too much, but you don't want stretch on this, okay? In this area where you're doing the embroidery, you want it to just lay put. Now, if I did the fusible stabilizer on the back of this, which we'll do that. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. If you do the fusible stabilizer, then you don't necessarily have to worry about that. I'm gonna do a cheat code real quick. I'm gonna heat up my heat press and do the fusible stabilizer on the back of it so that you can see what that looks like as well. Because you saw that's what it looked like without anything attached to it. Okay. If you can learn to do this, you won't have to worry about mighty hoops. That is very true, Miss Evelyn, because I don't use mighty hoops with my single needle machine. But Shay and anybody else who's interested, where are you? Here's one. So here's like a aftermarket for the 4x4 on Amazon. It comes with those kind of magnets, and because of the material that the hoop is made out of, you can even add your own kind of magnets to it to add more than just 4 to give it a little more, stability, not stability, but hold. And then let's see if this is, and then here's the 5x7 one. This is by Embroidery. This is on Amazon. This is the 5x7 one. Also, hold the phone. Also, I have the Burnett embroidery machine, and this is one as well. This is a magnetic hoop. I forget who it's by though. I know Miss Sharon Davenport told me about this, I think. But this is another one. This is like a full magnetic, like all of this is the magnet, like a mighty hoop, and this is the metal base that holds to the fabric. So there are magnetic hoops out there, aftermarket. Monster hoop, I think. I can't remember who the name was. Is this hot yet? Okay, it's kind of hot. So there's options for you. No show mesh. What I've read in a lot of now I can't vouch for this. I'm just saying. Um, some people say use 2 pieces of no show mesh and kind of like catty corner them, kind of like this, and that'll help with any stretch as well. Not as well. Instead of medium weight cutaway, use no show mesh and do it this way. Um, again, there's options out there from what I've heard, but I'm just telling you what I was told. Now, this is a tearaway. Unfortunately, I don't have any cutaway really to show you, but I just want you to see what it looks like when it's stabilized with a fusible. So with the fusible stabilizer, there's glue on one side and the other side doesn't have glue. So you would, like, here's the marks on that side, and then on this side, this is going to be the wrong size too, but it's okay because this is just purely for showing you how it goes. You would lay it just like so. Make sure it's nice and smooth up under there, no wrinkles, and then we'll press this on, and I'll show you how it looks on the front side. Hopefully this is, let's see. I got it on my heat press. I'm gonna try not to press any wrinkles into this thing, so give me 1 sec. And I don't want to have to press the whole shirt, so I'm stretching this to the inside, turned it inside out. There we go. Now watch I press a wrinkle in this darn thing. Be annoyed. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to press on a real quick heat setting. I forgot to cover it with what's the face in case I have it on the wrong side. Let me take this out. Eve made me buy. I made you buy what? I didn't make nobody buy that. Let's see. Is that right? That didn't stick. Is that the right thing? Hold on. He also said interfacing. So you can use interfacing as well to help. Why do I not see glue on this? Hold on, y'all. What am I using? Let me pull this out. Make sure this does have glue on it because I don't see any. Fusible iron-on tearaway. Okay, well, I don't see glue. So hopefully this is correct. All right. I don't see any glue on this, and this did not glue. So let me find this stuff over here because I do have interfacing is right there. Boy, when you got to pull stuff out your bag of tricks to get a point across, it's crazy. Hold on, y'all. Not get a point across. That was the wrong terminology. What I mean is because what you were supposed to have isn't right. Oh. Okay. All right. So this, what is this up here? Oh, this is I didn't know I had a roll of no show mesh right there. Boy, I tell you, the things you find when you clean up. Okay, so here is interfacing. I have a big, huge monstrosity roll of fusible interfacing. So I'm going to show you that because this stretches that way, but it doesn't stretch this way. So it's kind of not going to work the way I want it to. But again, I just need you to see what it looks like on the back of the garment. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this. And I did wrinkle this darn shirt. Hold on. I was trying not to turn this shirt inside out. Trying to do this the quick, dirty way, but it ain't working. Let me turn this shirt inside out. Hold on, y'all. All right. Boy, I tell you, when you try to do stuff super quick, it don't always pan out. All right. Now I can do this hopefully without wrinkles. All right, this is just a small piece of interfacing, but I'm gonna press it for a couple of seconds, because with interfacing, it doesn't take long at all. Yeah, see, let me make sure that that's good. What temperature is this? Oh Lord, that's on 210. That ain't gonna help me with nothing. All right, y'all, give me a minute. Let's let that heat up a little bit more. That was on 210. So anyways, does anything we said, is anything we said confusing? Is there anything that you need repeated? Is there anything that, and I'm gonna put this right there in case you want to come back and pause and jot these down, and I can read what was said again as well. Hoop never float. Use quality t-shirts sold for decorators, because cheap products can shrink after laundering. You know what? Let's do this so that y'all can see it better. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go. You can screenshot that. Okay. Hoop never float. Use quality t-shirts sold for decorators. Cheap products can shrink after laundering. Embroidery looks terrible. Actually, use quality t-shirts sold for decorators. Cheap products can shrink after laundering, and the embroidery looks terrible after the first wash. Then suggest a soft, medium weight cutaway stabilizer, not too thick. And then fusible interfacing might help with high density designs, but he still used the soft, medium cutaway as well. Okay. Oh my gosh, I got another one. So Renee, my favorite are the heavyweight t-shirts. Those are my favorite because the thinner, softer t-shirts, they're gonna have more stretch and it's gonna be more challenging because it has more stretch to it. All right. It's finally got the dang temperature where it needed to be. I was going to say something that I saw. Oh, Mylene says one thing I learned is to read the instructions before doing a design I didn't create. Another thing I do not suggest, me personally, again, for the same reason, like she said, she didn't create the design. Do not resize the design, especially any bigger than 10%. Okay, total. So 10%, I would not resize it. Oh, sorry, I didn't show it to you. So here's the fusible interfacing. And like right here, see how it stretches right there over here. Let me grab it where the interfacing is. See, there's no stretch now. See, whereas here, you can go and stretch right here. It's not stretching. Actually, I probably should do this. Just start from here where it's at without a stretch and then pull. You don't see a stretch. Whereas right here, I'm start from just the shirt being flat and I can stretch. Okay. So that's what interfacing or fusible interfacing or fusible cutaway stabilizer will do the same thing. All right. So back here behind where that fusible is, it should not stretch. So that'll help you as well. But he recommends still use the medium weight cutaway stabilizer. Okay, so that's that. What time is it? Of course it is. Oh my gosh, I forever there's this. It'd be so much information. Oh, so the other thing is, if you resize the design that you did not create, then you run the risk of increasing or screwing up the density of the design, and then it could possibly not stitch out as intended, and then you're getting jacked up embroidery and don't know why. You're breaking needles, you're getting bird nesting, and you don't know why. It's because the digitizing was created a certain way so that it stitches out flawlessly. If you're resizing it, then you're not stitching it the way it was digitized. Okay. So you kind of can't be mad at the digitizer for that when you've changed what they digitized. Some people are like, oh, they're digitizing as trash. Well, I mean, if you resized it, then you made it trash. Just saying. Okay. And I don't digitize, but I know not to be mad when I done resize somebody's stuff, because I have resized designs. I have indeed. But if it doesn't stitch properly, I'm not about to blame the person who digitized it because I changed it. All right. So now with that fusible behind it, I can press this in, and down here, now we got it. There's a little bit of right here. Let's pull. Oh, let's grab that. Oh, sugar. I pulled too hard. I pulled that one too hard. So it may pucker right there, but once I stitch on it, that is. All right, there's that. Let's see. Why is that right there? So let's stretch this out. But again, when I'm pulling, I am not tugging hard. I'm like trying my best to barely do just a little itty bitty bit, just enough to get this thing flat. Okay. And then I also loosen the hoop, so that didn't help either. All right, so let's put it on there at this point because I'm running out of time, and I'm going to stitch with what I have. What is up here? Gold. Perfect. That's a pretty color. Oh, you can't see. All right, let's go up this way. So I got a gold that's going to look pretty on this shirt. Even though this is a test, it's down at the bottom of the shirt, and we're just testing. While this is stitching, I'm going to mention a couple of things that you guys need to know. Number one, again, just because I say all of this stuff, list all of this stuff, I talked to Mr. John Deere, got the information from John. I view him as an expert. You may not. That's okay. All right. Nothing wrong with a difference of opinion. What creates hoop burn? Usually what creates hoop burn is when you're hooping and you hoop it pretty tight. It's the friction of the machine pushing, not the machine, the shirt pushing and rubbing up against the hoop a little bit as it's stitching. I wish I could show y'all this. Actually, I think I can show y'all this. So if you can find an embroidery design that's like this, see how that's, well, according to y'all, that looks like the font, but it's not. Ugh, I wish I could show you. It's not coming through. This is just the base stitches right here. This isn't even the filled in stitch. It's starting to fill in right there. Look at how, I mean, that doesn't look bad. So you can get a font that's not, sometimes folks just, they want the font to be filled in and full of satin when you can actually do a very light density design and get excellent results out of it. It doesn't have to be that thick filled in stuff, but you know, whatever. Just you do what you Because sometimes it's the customer is like, I want it to be like that, and that's all I'm going to take. Okay, well, guess what? But Lori, when this is done, if it ain't too terribly late, I'll show you how to eliminate that hoop, how I in the past have eliminated hoop burn. So here are the notes. It's okay if you have a difference of opinion. It's not going to kill you, and it's not going to kill me if our opinions don't match. Okay. Also, the buy-in is now active. It is going to end next Sunday. Let me make sure I'm telling you right, because I haven't put my dates up in front of my face. So please forgive me on that. So the dates are, if you go to the buy-in website, I do have the dates now at the top of the page. So when you go, they're already up there to tell you what they are for the rest of the year. So right now, the buy-in is open until the 10th of August. After that, it will close because I need to eliminate how many times I'm getting charged tariffs, because this is getting ridiculous. It don't make no kind of sense. These boxes are from DIME. The link to DIME is in the description. If you click where it says, here is where I get a lot of my great embroidery supplies, that's an affiliate link. And if you go there and you purchase, I love these boxes. Like, it makes getting my stabilizer out so much easier. Just there quick. And I got my piece of stabilizer. So I do love these boxes. And they make them in this size for like smaller hoop folks, and they make it in the big size for those that have bigger hoops, like this one right here. So for the big boy stabilizer hoop, big boy hoops, they have two different sizes. I love this box. I love this box. So the buy-in is open. I wanted to let you guys know that the new colors are in the buy-in. They are listed, so if you want to do that, you can. The Bling Fest tickets are still for sale. You only have, this is August 3rd, September the 3rd is a month, and then September the 30th is, so you have just under 2 months to get your Bling Fest tickets, because I have to have the menus together to give to the chef. This is, I got to do it a little bit sooner this year than I have had to in the past. How does the buy-in work? So, hey Kizzy, thank you for being interested in joining. The buy-in is very simple. There's no fees, there's no requirements other than to put your email in and register that way. You purchase whatever it is that you're interested in, because the amounts that are listed on the website, the buy-in side, are in bulk. So you're pretty much ordering 250 gross versions, other than the Pick 6 box or the chippers and picks, which that's a stack of colors that you can pick and choose from. And those are, this is not going to be done in enough time. I'm sorry, y'all. You can pick and choose those. Those are smaller amounts, but you're getting it in a container that you pick your sizes, and it's 20 gross per color. You can pick all the same color, or you can mix and match your colors. But the buy-in, you purchase what all it is that you want, and then what I will do is at the end of the buy-in, compile all the orders and order what everyone wants. And that way I'm only paying one shipping tariff and shipping fee. And then as soon as I get it, I package it in the acrylic boxes and send it to you. And that process takes about 21 to 30 days. So it just kind of depends on, let me not say that. Oof, I started to say something I did not need to say. Hopefully we won't have issues with shipping or customs or anything like that to make it go closer to 30 than 21, but I asked for as close to 30, hopefully not any over 30, to allow for the shipping to be received and us to get it packaged. Another thing that I am going to have to list, but because I went out of town, I couldn't list it in the buy-in by this past Friday, which is when I said I would have the new colors listed. I did get that done, but I did not get this done. I need y'all to see this though. I really, 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 really need y'all to see this, because when I see something that I absolutely love, especially rhinestone based, I gotta show it to you. And it just, I about fell out in the floor when I opened this package and saw this, because I've sourced these before, but this time I am very impressed. So do I have a link for the fusible interfacing material? Let me see if DIME sells the fusible. If they sell the fusible, then yes, you can just click the DIME link. And you can purchase it there. So designs, machine, okay. Stabilizer. Where are you, stabilizer? Embroidery supplies, stabilizer, adhesive, fusible. Yes, they do have fusible stabilizer. So you can click there. So my link in the description says, excuse me. If you scroll down. Oh, here we go. It says my embroidery supplies can be found here, and I'm gonna copy and paste this and put it in the comments. And that's the link to DIME. It's my affiliate link. If you don't want to use my affiliate link, that's fine. You can just go Google designs and machine embroidery and pull up the website and purchase it that way. You don't have to use my link if you don't want to. But they do purchase it. I mean, they do offer it for sale. So here is no worries, Kizzy. So I've sourced these and I want to sell these in the buy-in, because again, the tariffs, y'all, the tariffs are killing me. I wanted to offer it in the hotfixfix.store, but I can only order in bulk, and they have so many colors, even though right now I'm only going to start with these 2 colors, but they have so many colors that I would have to order bulk in each color in order for me to put it in. I can't afford that right now. So I'm just going to offer it in the buy-in. But one of the things I do love to do is bling things. And sometimes blinging shirts and stuff like that isn't enough. You want to bling stuff. Okay. So I want to offer adhesive rhinestone sheets. Okay. So these sheets will be a little over 15 inches by a little over 9 inches, 15 by 9. All right. I haven't listed them yet, but I got to list them. And this is crystal AB. So ordinarily, when I talk about the bare basic color stone that you want to source, even for t-shirts, I usually say crystal AB, because crystal AB is so dazzling, because it reflects a lot of other colors, even though it's kind of hard to see in the camera right now, the other colors with crystal AB. But crystal is pretty, but it's usually not as pretty as crystal AB. This is crystal AB, and these are adhesive sheets. So you pull the cover off the back, and then you can stick this to anything. You don't have to use glue because it's self-adhesive, and I'll show you how that works here in a moment. But this is crystal AB. But y'all, for the first time, this is adhesive. I couldn't find very many uses for the Hotfix other than us doing like the keychains. Let me show you this. This is one of the key fob wristlets that we did. And this is a Hotfix sheet. But it's like just maybe these would be the only reason I would do Hotfix sheets. But I mean, eventually, if you guys are interested in doing these in bulk, I can offer that as well. But I have to have interest in it because, like I said, I have a minimum that I have to purchase in order to get the sheets. But this is Hotfix. But normally, when I get crystal, I'm not super impressed. Oh, look at this darn crystal. Look at this crystal. Look at somebody coming. Look at this. Look at that. Look at how it's almost like static in the screen because of how reflective and pretty this is. Like I cannot get enough of this. And usually my go-to is Crystal AB, but this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This is blinding. Is how pretty this crystal is. Now, really quick, I'm gonna show you just how easy it is to bling with this. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. Let me see. What do I have? Because I had a plug that I did rhinestoning on. Now, I blinged out my Graph Tech with Crystal AB. But now that I have this, I wish I had did it in crystal with this. But I'm not about to take all that bling off of that in order to just put this on. That's not gonna. I'm not that crazy. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Okay, I'm just saying. Where is this one? No, of course it's not. Let's see. I could do, but I don't want to do that. Did I mess up my chat or something? I don't know. Hopefully y'all are there and can hear me. Let me see something. Think. It's gotta be advantageous because I don't want to waste my stuff. Okay, this could work. Nah, I don't want to use that. All right, nope, that ain't gonna work either. All right, y'all, I gotta find, because I don't want to put it on any old thing because it's just too pretty to just put it on any old thing. But it's got to be on something that I can show you as well. And I'm not looking at the chat at this moment to see what you might be suggesting because I know what I would like to use, but I don't see one, which is crazy because usually I have a zillion around. Yeah, the stitching is turning out really pretty. But again, the plan is to put these in the buy in. And I'm hoping to have them in there by the end of the week, if not by Wednesday, because I want you guys to have time to consider it. And then I'll see if it's any interest in it or whether or not I continue to do it. You know what? Whatever. I'm gonna do this. But I kind of don't want to do that. Is it done? One more letter. What time is it? I didn't even look at what time it was. 5 minutes after. Okay, that ain't too terribly bad. It ain't too terribly bad. I guess. I don't know. Hold on, y'all. Let me go get what I'm pretty sure I know where something is. This is what I was looking for because I know how it is with Kelly. I haven't seen any offered lately. So far as I know, there are no specials, but we can reach out and see if he wants to, you know, update some more stuff. But this, I have my charger, and I know how folks like to borrow chargers, so that's why I love doing chargers, the plugs anyways. So if you have an Apple or Android, this is not, this is for the game thing. And so what I'll do is I will cut it where it will, because this is, well, no, I can go all the way to the bottom and I can go all the way to the edge. So I'll do the whole thing. All right. So I'm going to lay this on here, and then I see that this is about as wide as I can do. There's a couple of ways to cut this. The easiest way is with a rotary cutter, but yes, you can cut this with scissors. All right, so I measure what I'm getting ready to put this on, and then I break out the scissors and I just cut. And because they're in neat rows, you can just go down the row. But like I said, my favorite and easiest way of cutting this is with my rotary cutter, because it makes it easier to follow those rows, ROWS. What happened? Why did it not cut through? There we go. All right, and so here is, with Hotfix sheets, I've decorated people's shirt with it. See, and that's, I really don't know because I've not used it. I'll reach out and see what the suggested stuff is. Have a good night, Miss Barb. I get it. I'm running overtime. So here's the sheet. I measured it, and I'm just gonna lay this right on top. Look, like actually I cut it too big. So hold on. I cut it a couple of rows too big. So I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna take off 2 rows. But these are so pretty. Just so pretty. Oh, I'm gonna show you what to do with that. All right, so let's take this off. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I wanted to let you guys know for sure, announcement wise, is Bling Fest tickets are still there. They end September the 30th. The buy-in is open if you're interested in joining us for the buy-in. And one of the things I'm looking at doing, ooh, that's on there good. See, I hadn't even tested the glue yet. I was just going off of the look of the stones. This is okay, so, and all I'm doing is just following the shape of this brick. And then when I get to the end, what I'm going to do is stick it on, and then I'm going to see where it ends, and then I'm going to cut it with my scissors. But I don't want to peel the rest of this tape off because I can use this for a different project, right? So let me grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut. I'm actually going to cut this row right here. Well, I'm not going to be able to cut that row right there. This stuff is stuck on there. Do you hear me? That's good. I like that. So I'm going to cut. Okay, that's done. And then I'll show you that. So that wasn't too bad. All right. And so I'm going to leave that on there so that it doesn't come off. But look. So now my plug is blinged out. And that way, if somebody comes over and they're like, I want to plug in my Game Boy. Okay, you can, but guess what? This is mine. This is mine. So this should not walk out of my house. If it does and I come to your house and I see a blingy plug, I'll know that it's mine. Okay. And then with this extra that I overdid, I can bling this part out. Especially on, where is it? You know, like here's the end of the other part. You know, if you wanted to, you could go all the way around this part. You can use these for all kind of stuff, Chad. I love blinging stuff with these adhesive sheets. So I'm looking at doing these. So if you're interested, let me know. But this crystal doesn't make any sense. So the first time I offer them, I'm looking to do just crystal and crystal AB because um, those are the simplest colors right now. And until I find out, because if nobody wants them, then it's no point in me investing tons, because I've already bought some, but not very many people said anything about it. But it wasn't buy in, it was just in the buy now types. Well, actually, I never even listed them. All right, so here is the font, and notice there is some pucker right here, and there's a little bit right there. But when I feel right here, can you see? Let me see if you can see it from this side. See, the stabilizer has like a loose, let me see, there we go. See, it's kind of loose right there, and there's like a little uh, channel right there. So that's where it did have a little bit of a pucker, but for the most part, there's no pucker because let me take this off so that you can see it. Well, you can see it right here. We put the fusible on there to help hold it in place. But we also have a nice medium weight, a soft medium weight. I don't have, well, I bought 10 each for myself for right now because I have to buy a certain amount per order. So they let me get 10 for right now. But that was mine. That wasn't for buy-in purposes, because if I do the buy-in, then folks will get what they want instead of what I want, because there are other colors, like Shay would probably want pink, but I don't want 20 sheets of pink rhinestone sheets. You know what I'm saying? I don't want 50 sheets of that. So I don't want to invest in that, and then I'll be stuck with it. What is this mind you speak of? You'll share, right? I guess so. So here you see there is some little bit pucker there, especially right in there. But that's on a t-shirt, and that's with medium stabilizer. But again, you got to make sure you don't stretch it when you put it in the hoop. And you see I was pulling it a little itty bitty bit, but I shouldn't have been pulling it at all. And then it also even has this on the back. That's why I'm just, y'all, I am not a huge fan of embroidering on t-shirts, but just those three little puckers, like right here at the tail of this U, and then up at the top part of this U, and at the corner of that B, and for the rest to not, is not bad. The real test is washing this and seeing what it looks like after you wash it. That's the real test, because you don't want this to come all bunched up out of the wash. And you really can't see the stabilizer very much behind it, but sometimes when a person puts it on, you can see the stiff stabilizer because it doesn't flow with the person's chest. You see how you can see it doesn't lay flat on my arm, it sticks up right there. So there's going to be instances, because you have to stabilize it with a medium, a nice stabilizer, to make sure that you don't have puckers and stuff like that. So, but at any rate, that's that. So that's just some basic information. Again, it is trial and error. I shared with you tips from an expert from the GOAT himself on things that he would steps that he would take to do t-shirt embroidery. Then here's some things that no matter what you're embroidering, you definitely need to consider all of these things so that you can come out successfully with your embroidery. Okay. And honestly, the lighter weight you're stitching, the better it's going to turn out with a stretchy item. So instead of one that's satin stitching and all of this filling in, because it has support stitches behind it, and then you're laying more stitches over the top of it, that's a bunch of embroidery. Whereas if you could do, let me see if I can pull up an example of a font that would be absolutely perfect for t-shirt, because it's super dense and it's still very pretty, and it will still work really well. um let's grab this and pull it over, because I know for a fact my other homie has them. Let's see, because I've seen them on her site. My other homie, I don't talk about my other homie very much, but I need to. Oh, so mm, this was okay. Here we go. Here we go. I think. Yeah. So I can't zoom in any more than this though. That sucks. I hate that I can't zoom in. All right, let me share this with y'all. This type, so it's like a sketch almost. See, she calls it sketch. This is designs by Juju, and it's not densely filled in like regular embroidery. It's lightweight, super lightweight. Let me see um if this will show it any better. It's not really showing the look. I'm trying to, okay, maybe this will work. So this is not filled in. It's like super duper lightweight. This shows it too. So see, there we go. That's a better look. You see how it's like space in between the stitches? They're not super dense. Like even right up here in the corners where it starts, and it has a little bit more stitches to give it a highlight where it's darker, but then it goes really lightweight beyond that. See, that's so lightweight. And even this little bit of satin stitching for the laces on the football design, it's just a little bit. It's not a whole ton, you know? So when you are able to do this type where it's lightweight, but look, it still looks amazing. That still looks amazing. You can tell what it is, you see what it is, you know what it is, and you don't have to have all of those stitches in it. And it looks great. So if you can find this type of font embroidery for a t-shirt, then you can go ham t-shirt city. Okay. 75 XP. It's something about YouTube showing how often people are interacting with the chat. And I guess it's incentive to get people to want to interact more so that they can have the most XP. I don't know what you get. Far as I've seen, you don't get anything other than just your name up at the top showing, or something showing that, yeah, your name is up at the top with the most XP, I guess. I don't know. I ain't figured that out either. Um, but yeah, stuff like that, like this is great for a shirt. The background, see how it's lightweight. Stuff like that is perfect for t-shirts. So if you could find that type of font, that type of design, then you'll do great. You could even do this, so the entire design is made like that, but the lettering right here is just enough to add some weight to it, but the rest of it is beautiful. This is a gorgeous design. It doesn't take all of that fill in order to get a good looking design. You see what I'm saying? That looks amazing. But it's like people can tend to put blinders on and it has to be a dense design when it doesn't take all of that to put on a t-shirt. So designs like this would look great on a t-shirt. And you don't have to worry as much about puckering because it's so lightweight. It doesn't affect the pull compensation on the against the fibers of the shirt as bad and cause that terrible puckering. Okay, so there's that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight. I apologize that I went over 22 minutes. That's why some folks had to go on to bed, which I totally understand. But thank you for coming to hang out and talk about doing t-shirt embroidery. I definitely want to give a huge major shout out to John Deere for providing his awesome expertise and didn't have to, because I know he stays busy, and just a simple question and he was willing to answer, and I am eternally grateful to John for that. He's always been very supportive and very forthcoming with his knowledge and expertise to help people out, and I appreciate it, because embroidering on t-shirts can be a pain and it can be stressful. Embroidery in itself can be stressful. So there's so many different steps, so many things that we have to learn. Like, you need to know needles, you need to know stabilizer, you need to know density of your designs, you need to know what designs will work on what fabric, you need to know the different fabrics. There's a lot to have to keep in mind and a lot to have to retain. So get a crafting journal. If you don't have My Pretty Perfect um, embroidery book, then go to So Sweet Monogramming, or reach out to me personally. I'll send you the link. Her information is not even an affiliate link. I'll just send you the link directly to it so that you can grab that book, or get a notebook and write it down. But hers is laid out so simple, and headings and everything, so that it's consistent all the way through the book. And it's gorgeous. It's a super cute book. But there are things out there to help you, and we're here to help you. So if you ever have any questions, just reach out, and I'll try to answer the best that I can. But the thing is, a lot of time when we ask in some of the other embroidery groups, you get so many answers all across the board. It can be confusing and it can be frustrating. So therefore, I try to reach out. If you ask me, I'll try and reach out to those who are experts in the industry and weigh in on what they have to say. And a lot of times, even if this expert and that expert don't mesh with the same information, usually there's still some consistency across the board somewhere. Okay. So even though this one may not say, well, you can just use no show poly mesh, and this one, he recommend the medium weight cutaway stabilizer. Well, guess what? It's still cutaway. It's not tearaway. So you see what I'm saying? There's still usually some consistency there, but at the end of the day, we're going to give you some direction for you to go in, for you to try. And if you choose to try something different, that is fine. That is totally fine. Work at what it is that you're trying to accomplish until you get it, then write that information down, and then you can go from there. But no two embroidery designs are the same. So just because it works with this design may not mean it's going to work for the next one. So, have some patience with yourself on this embroidery journey, because it is an intense journey. And as I mentioned, there's a lot to learn and a lot to master. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. And as I mentioned, if you need to, just reach out and I'll try to help answer any other questions. You can also ask in the Facebook group, because we got quite a few embroidery folks who have been doing embroidery a very long time that can also help you as well. Okay. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Sunday to talk to me about Buc-ee's, and to talk to me about embroidery, talk to me about glitter hats, and to talk to me about stabilizers, and talk about even glitter adhesive sheets. It was a lot, but I enjoyed every minute of it because it was worth it to spend it with you. So thank you so very much. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm exhausted, so I'm about to go my butt to bed. So if you send me a message tonight, you probably won't get an answer tonight. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. So Love you guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us this evening. And again, until the next time we see you, we hope you have happy embroidering. Have a good night. Bye.